If you're running Instagram ads for your clothing brand and not seeing sales, this is probably why. It's not your budget, it's not your product, it's how you're setting up your ad. And most advice online is just recycled junk. I kept this PG, but here's what actually is working right now, and I'll prove it inside of Ads Manager. And if you're like me, you're seeing a ton of people online that are saying that they're making millions of dollars with a clothing brand all over YouTube and everybody's successful, but they never really back it up. If you get this weird feeling when you're watching, they may just be creating content for reactions, which is why I want to show you real quickly some social proof so that you can lean in, grab a notebook for the best lessons on how to grow a clothing brand. Let me just show you real quickly. This is a brand, this is a brand, this is a brand, this is inside of Triple Well. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact process that has generated over $100 million in sales for over 300 clothing brands in the last 12 months alone, and my proven process for creating high converting ads. Hey, and yes, I will show you step by step how to set up your ads and the exact campaigns you need to be running, no matter if you are just starting out or spending thousands of dollars per day, but a little bit more on that later. So most ads can be fixed by making sure that you get the right message to the right person at the right time. You do this by using Meta's powerful ad data to get in front of your right audience. But that all starts with audience research and truly knowing who your audience is. And if you don't know who you're going after, or you think that you are, you can target the wrong customer when you really should be focusing on somebody different, right? You can't target the right customer with you. The good thing about Meta is that if you know who you're going after, you can create content for that person, and Meta will target your customer for you. Everyone thinks that you need to have interest targeting or lookalike audiences or some type of customer list to make sure to hit the right people with your ad. The truth is they are trying to complicate the ad setup so that you pay them to teach you some complicated system. I'll show you the accounts today with 1 to 2 campaigns max that I already showed you, spending thousands of dollars per day, extremely profitable. What you really need to know is the stages of sophistication or awareness of your actual product. Most of y'all in the clothing brand world or boutique world are in stage 4 or 5. But before we get into these 5 stages of market sophistication as they apply to clothing brands and how to use them into your Instagram ads, I promise you, I'm not leading you down this crazy path for whatever reason. It's very important, and it's why if you are doing these things, you'll have success with ads. And it's why if you're watching this video and you need help with Instagram ads, this is why I'm telling it to you, because it's not just setting it up, it's all these other things too. But first, I want to say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here, alongside my business partner, Christian. We built this channel for you and our company, again, for you, clothing brand owners, so that you can take this knowledge and build something great for you and your family. If you have found value in this video so far, just even one little bit, I would really appreciate it if you give us a nice little like and subscribe. It is free. If you do this in the next 3 seconds, I'll share with you one of my favorite books ever that you should check out. It's called The Ultimate Gift by Jim Stovall. All right, so these first couple, I'm going to just talk them through with you, and then I'm going to show you 4 and 5 because of those are the most important. Now, number 1, if you don't understand these 5, then don't skip to number 4 and 5. But number 1 is the new thing, right? You're first to market, introducing something new to your niche. Some clothing brands do have this. Maybe you created something new that hasn't been available. This is literally customers haven't seen this style or this product before. A quick message to say for this, what it is and why it's different from anything else that you own. So, for example, introducing the first scrunch fit leggings designed to flatter every body type. Okay, that's stage 1. Stage 2 is proof. Does it really work? Competitors start copying. So customers are skeptical, so you need to show proof, reviews, or credibility. The message around this is, here's why this style actually performs better than others. And a good example would be tested by 1,000 athletes, sweat-proof leggings that stay in place throughout every workout. Stage 3, unique mechanism. Why ours is different. The market is flooded with similar clothing. You need to highlight unique fabric, cut, or production method. So, and the message behind that is the specific reason your product is superior. For example, made with our signature Luxe Stretch fabric, softer, stronger, and more breathable than anything you've worn. Okay, so now stage 4 is the emotional benefits. So at this stage, everyone claims high quality. You must connect to identity, lifestyle, so identity, lifestyle, aspiration. The message around that, how it makes them feel, and the lifestyle it represents. So, does it make them happy? Does it represent their lifestyle? For example, clothing that gives you confidence in every rep. Compliments after every class. Stage 4 is referred to as this Cold War, wherever your competitors are on your heels and it's an all-out battle. As in the fast fashion clothing brand space, people are going after your exact customer. You have to stand out, and yes, I promise this has to do with Instagram ads, and it's why you will win online. Because you watch several minutes into a video to find out the true secret. There are no silver bullets, but just a ton of golden BBs, and that's how you will win. All right, so this is stage 5. This is where most people are at right now. This is brand. So brand identification. It's the who you are. The market is completely, fully saturated. Customers don't just buy clothes, they buy belonging to your tribe. So what's the message behind that? Wearing this brand means something bigger, culture, status, or movement. For example, not just another gym brand. Evolve is a movement of women redefining strength and beauty together. This brand ID is where most people get stuck. And in stage 4, you really need to highlight how your product is better with either a ton of social proof or reviews or both. You can also stand out by getting the product to a customer faster at a better price. The claims here are you versus the competitor type of ads and put you on a pedestal, but you need to make sure that you are not embellishing too hard. That is the stage 4, but I think stage 5 is where the magic and the money happen. So you start to bring a customer from the desire stage of wanting your product to identification. They typically do not buy in the fact that you have a great deal or offer as much as they do your big vision for why your company is better. For example, Bamba is giving 1 pair of every pair that they sell to the homeless or to the, I guess now we're saying the unhoused. So your customers could be at any stage, so you need to make sure that you create content for every single stage. Now, like I said, most people are in stage 4 or 5, which is why I hit on that, and it's where most people who are selling clothing are at. However, you may create something completely new, something that is not available to a new market or somebody who's just entering a market who may be seeing you for the first time. So good marketing, you can hit on all of those different stages. You also have to be able to meet your customers where they are at. So if you want the exact ads that we have created to meet people at different levels of market sophistication that I talked about here, the 5 levels, just comment the word foreplay down below and I will send that over to you so that you can check that out. So most people complicate their ad account setup and it completely ruins their approach to marketing their clothing brand. There does need to be a system in place for your content. So grabbing random content should not be the way that you make your ads work for your brand. Now, let's talk through the exact process and framework of creating a great ad before we build out an ad inside of Ads Manager. But first, hold up just 1 second. I want to say that if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow it profitably online, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so go find a time now. You can check out the link in the description down below. Obviously, like I said, there are limited spots, so go do it right now. Now, if you're someone who is boosting posts on Instagram, please stop. Don't do that. Let's do it the right way inside of Ads Manager. Follow me over there so I can show you what you need to do. So inside of Ads Manager, it's very simple, and you can see this right now. I have 1 ad account, 1 campaign. It's spending $3,300 per day. So obviously has had some success. Inside of here, you can also see that there have been a lot of purchases, $20, $30 purchases. I'll also show you over here, which I did earlier, $484,000 in sales in the last 30 days. But the setup is very simple. You're gonna hit this nice little green button here. You're gonna set a conversion campaign. The only thing that you want to do is go for sales. You can label this however you would like. I would just say, create a new campaign, go for sales. We only want to go for purchases. Do not do page push engagement, do not do traffic, literally only sales. This is not an Advantage Plus catalog ad, so I'm going to turn that off. This sales campaign can be labeled however you would like. If it's a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, if this is going to be your evergreen campaign, if this is going to be a new sales campaign, leave it and label it however you would like. Campaign budget. This is just strictly the budget distributed through the campaign level. So let me show you what that looks like. So this is the campaign. And if you have multiple ad sets, the budget will be distributed between these 2 ad sets and it's done at the campaign level. Pretty straightforward. And what some people do is they suggest on the ad set level, so ABO, that the budget's distributed between the 2 ad sets and you get to choose. I'd rather just give all the money here and then it can pick which ad is working or which concepts are working from the ads that are being created. Now, we'll come back to that here in a second. Now, your budget per day, we suggest around $30 a day to start out. If you are able to, $100 a day is kind of that sweet spot to be in. You can beat out a lot of people with just a good budget. Scrolling on down, I'm not really going to define literally anything else. Now, if you want to and you want to find out more about the audience segments, you can click this nice little button and it will break it down for you and you can define your audience segments. All right, go ahead and hit next. You're going to hit the website option. There is success that people have had with website and shop, website and app, website in store if you have a brick and mortar. But for us, we're going for the most amount of conversions. We're going to use the ad pixel that we have currently over there on Shopify. I'm going to go for the website purchases. I'm only going to go for the conversion event for purchase. Please make sure you choose that. The data set or the pixel is where the information goes back from, let's just say Shopify or your platform, and actually tracks whether or not a purchase comes through. If you're going for purchases, make sure that you choose purchase on the pixel. Do not choose search or add to cart. I've had many people who label this as like broad, like age, gender, location of the targeting or open targeting, and then just label it that they're going for purchases, but then choose something else. Just because you label it doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. You have to actually choose purchase. Budget's pretty straightforward. You're going to leave this open. You are not going to set a duration on when this is going to end, unless it's a sales period. That makes sense for that. But for the most part, you're not. You're going to leave it how it is. We're getting into the audience controls. You can check this right here and further limit the reach of your ads. I've been doing this and continue to go back to it because I do know my audience. So we're going for the United States. Age, gender, location. If you don't, keep it 18 to 65. It will find the right people. If you know that majority of your customers are women, go after women. This also says we'll reach people beyond your gender if it's likely to improve performance. I turned that off. We have no custom audience here. If you wanted to, you could put in a custom audience of people who have purchased before. Language, we actually do suggest to choose the right language because sometimes you get people who it's targeting where they may not be, their native language is the way that your product is portrayed. So if you're setting it in English and it goes to a bunch of people who don't speak English, it can happen. So I always set the language, and I do English all because I don't really care. UK people, it works too. Placements, leave this exactly where it's at. There's no reason to change anything. Go ahead and hit next. All right, and then you're going to choose the brand, choose the Facebook page, choose the Instagram account, and then it's going to give you a preview when you actually have it. We're going to use single images. We used to use flexible or DCT, dynamic creative testing ads. Unfortunately, they no longer give you the data, and DCT is no more. It is now flexible, but we have not used flexible in quite some time, so we're just doing individual ads. In each ad, or ad set rather, you're going to have roughly 3 to 5 ads. Okay, if you're spending $100 a day, you can do a little bit more. If you're spending $30 a day, I probably wouldn't do any more than 3 ads. In each ad set, you're going to do a concept. Okay, what is a concept? Let me show you this. This is what a concept is broken down from. So this is our content scaling strategy document. Basically, this information is important, but these are concepts. So before and after, bullet points, carousels, features and benefits, brand founder story, text graphics, headlines. Most people know what a headline is. I'll show you some examples of what this looks like. And this is the foreplay type of boards, again, that I had mentioned earlier. So if you want this, just comment the word foreplay down below. But these are examples of different types of ads inside of here. We have a foreplay board that breaks down the market sophistication and like where you should see people, kind of like what I mentioned earlier, like which level are they at. But this right here is a concept. So if you did this type of flat lay in 3 different variations, this is exactly what I would do here. Ad set, 3 variations of this type of ad. Now, next thing you need to do is make sure that you write copy. Pretty straightforward. I would not write any copy inside of Ads Manager. I would go use a Google Doc. I would literally write everything out. I do have a GPT that is very helpful for writing copy for inside of ads, and you can use that. If you want that access to that GPT, I will give that away. Just comment the word copy down below. So COPY, copy down below, and I will send that to you. It's a GPT to give you product descriptions, headlines, and just kind of go through the desires or sophistication of the brand so that you can meet people where they're at and you can rate really good copy for this. Most importantly though is the images and videos, which is like I mentioned earlier, is through the foreplay board. So those are just good examples of the types of ads that you can use and run. That is the most important. Make sure that you put your website URL in here. All right. Don't worry about using any of these buttons here. Do not worry about any of these buttons here. Language, you can choose it if it makes sense for your brand. We have not done that in the past. If you're using triple whale, so this is like third-party attribution. If you're spending over $100 a day and you do not have an idea of the tracking, Meta is going to give you inaccurate data. So you should use something like Triple Whale. There's a free version right now, and then if you do need the paid version, you can check out the link in the description. There is a link to give you 15% off. Now let's assume that the ads for Instagram are all on and you are good to go. So I would go over to an account. Let me go to a different one here because I want to show you something even completely different. For this right here, I got multiple ad sets going on, and then I have multiple ads. What I would do is I'd go over to the breakdown. I would go to audience segments, and it's gonna tell you whether or not it's going after a new customer or not. Very important. All right, so this one right here, it has existing customers and new audience. So $14 going after a new audience, or 13 purchases going after a new audience, 13 purchases going after an existing customer. If the majority of your budget is going after existing customers, then it's no longer top of the funnel. It's no longer acquisition, which for Meta, majority of your spend, I would say 70, 80, 90% of it should be going after new customers. About 10% of it should be going after existing or an engaged audience, okay? Maybe 10% or so between engaged and existing. The rest of it should be going after new in the way that we use Meta. So many people set up retargeting campaigns. You do not need that. That is why this right here is doing the retargeting for you. A couple of things that you need to make sure that you focus on and are aware of, right? What are numbers to break even so that we can know if we can scale? Remember, those who can spend the most to acquire a customer will always win. So it's working well for me organically. You've got to focus in on that, because if it's working well organically, then it can work well with ads. If you're not creating content organically, you're hurting your chances of being better at the ads. Facebook owns Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Or I guess Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and billions of data points. It owns all of those. And it may be worth it to know that what content works organically so that you can put that into ads. If you take the content from organic and put that into ads, it's likely going to do better. And yes, even your TikToks can work too, organically on TikTok, and then bringing them over to ads. And honestly, if you haven't ran ads before and have not done anything organically yet either, I would tell you to stop this video right now. I mean, finish out the video because it helps me on YouTube, but stop the video right now. You're not ready for Instagram ads. You should go focus on organic to get traction there and then put gasoline on the fire. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things that you should be doing right now is to build everything inside of a Google document before you do anything inside of Ads Manager. A big mistake people make is they go directly to Ads Manager and start pushing buttons. You've got to do your research. You've got to build everything in a document, then copy and paste it over to your ads. It honestly makes it so much easier when you can just literally look at the information, copy, paste, put it inside of Ads Manager. I'm going to show you what buttons to push and how to set it up and everything like that. So we're going to get into that piece, but you've got to understand that. You also have to create an amazing offer. You can use our offer optimizer. Let me show you what that looks like. The offer optimizer is a GPT. It's going to ask you how to design something. Let me just show you from the beginning here. All right, so for the optimizer, it will tell you exactly what it is. So it says, design irresistible offers for your clothing brand without killing profit. Model discounts, bundles, BOGOs, etc. Get a break-even analysis of creative, fashion-focused strategies. Basically, that's all fancy words to say what offers can you create that are profitable for your business. I've got stuff in here right now to prompt you for Black Friday. Whether or not that's passed, doesn't matter. I can help you create it, or it can help you create an irresistible offer. It's going to ask you for specifics of your business, and then you're going to give the inputs here. So I'm just going to say, assume. I'm going to tell it to give me an assumption and just give me random numbers just so I have this for you guys here. But what it's going to do is it's going to come up with offers. It's going to come up with the information for the average order value, returning customer rate, whether or not an offer is good or bad. One thing I dislike about this is the 5.0 is not so great, so it's super slow. Okay, so it finally pulled this up, and there we go. Pretty straightforward. So it told me that my baseline was $120 average order value. If I give a flat 20%, probably not a great offer. But if I do buy two, get one free, great offer. I'm gonna make some money. It's gonna give me an idea of my volume lift. It's gonna give me an idea of the orders breakdown. It's gonna give me my recommendations. So it's all specific to clothing, all specific to your business based off of the data. Now, my numbers look really wonky because it's a made up number, but you'll be able to put this in for your business. You will be able to get output that actually helps you understand your margins, an offer that you can run and test, and give you the data behind why you should make those decisions. All right, so now that you know how to build out winning Instagram ads, it's time to learn how to tell stories that converts even more customers for your brand. So go watch that video on exactly how to do that right here next. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. We will see you next time, and P.S., make sure you subscribe.